50 state names actually mean, by Christina Sterbenz. If you want to understand a state's history, start by looking at its name. The map below shows the breakdown of all the states' etymologies. The most names, 8 in both cases, stem from Algonquin and Latin. Thinking face. How the 50 states got their names. But the etymologies of some names have become muddled over the years. Even alternate theories exist for some, and an author even appears to made one up entirely. Scroll through the list to find your home state's meaning and how the name originated. Alabama, from the Choctaw word albah meaning thicket-clearers or plant cutters. Alaska, from the Aleut word alaxsxaq, from Russian, meaning the object toward which the action of the sea is directed. Arizona, from the Oatem, a Uto-Aztecan language, word sona-g via Spanish Arizonac meaning good oaks. Arkansas, from a French pronunciation of an Algonquin name for the Quapaw people, Akansa. This word, meaning either downriver people or people of the south wind, comes from the Algonquin prefix of plus the Siouan word kaze for a group of tribes including the Quapaw.
California, in his popular novel Las Sergas de Esplandián published in 1510. Writer García Ordóñez de Montalvo named Animayen Erigel, California.
Spanish explorers of the New World could have mistaken Baja California as the mythical place where Montalvo learned the name, and its meaning remain a mystery. Colorado, named for the Rio Colorado, Colorado River, which in Spanish means ruddy or reddish. Connecticut, named for the Connecticut River, which stems from Eastern Algonquian, possibly Mohican, Quinnitucket, meaning at the long tidal river. Delaware, named for the Delaware Bay, named after Baron de la Warre, Thomas West, 1577–1618, the first English governor of Virginia. His surname ultimately comes from de la Warre, meaning of the war in Old French. Florida, from Spanish Pascua Florida meaning flowering Easter. Spanish explorers discovered the area on Palm Sunday in 1513. The state name also relates to the English word florid, an adjective meaning strikingly beautiful, from Latin floridus. Georgia, named for King George II of Great Britain. His name originates with Latin Georgius, from Greek Georgos, meaning farmer, from ge, earth, plus ergon, work. Hawaii, from Hawaiian Hawaii, from Proto-Polynesian Hawaiki, thought to mean place of the gods. Originally named the Sandwich Islands by James Cook in the late 1700s. Idaho, originally applied to the territory now part of eastern Colorado, from the Kiowa Apache, Athabascan, word idea, meaning enemy, a name given by the Comanches. Illinois, from the French spelling Illinois of the Algonquians name for themselves Inoka, also written Illinois, from Old Ottawa for ordinary speaker. Indiana, from the English word Indian plus Anna, a Latin suffix, roughly meaning land of the Indians. Thinking they had reached the South Indies, explorers mistakenly called native inhabitants of the Americas Indians. And India comes from the same Latin word, from the same Greek word, meaning region of the Indus River. Iowa, named for the natives of the Chewer branch of the Iowan family, from Dakota Ayuxpa, meaning sleepy ones. Kansas, named for the Kansa tribe, natively called Ka-Z, meaning people of the south wind. Despite having the same etymological root as Arkansas, Kansas has a different pronunciation. Kentucky, named for the Kentucky River, from Shawnee or Wyandot language, meaning on the meadow, also at the field in Seneca. Louisiana, named after Louis XIV of France. When René Robert Cavelier, Sieur de la Salle claimed the territory for France in 1682. He named it La Louisiana, meaning Land of Louis. Louis stems from Old French Louis, from medieval Latin Ludovicus, a changed version of Old High Germany Hludwig, meaning famous in war. Maine, uncertain origins, potentially named for the French province of Maine, named for the river of Gaulish, an extinct Celtic language, origin. Maryland, named for Henrietta Maria, wife of English King Charles I. Mary originally comes from Hebrew Miriam, the sister of Moses. Massachusetts, from Algonquin, Massachusetts, a name for the native people who lived around the bay, meaning at the large hill, in reference to Great Blue Hill, southwest of Boston. Michigan, named for Lake Michigan, which stems from a French spelling of Old Ojibwe, Algonquian, Meshigami, meaning Big Lake. Minnesota, named for the river, from Dakota, Siouan, Nisota, meaning cloudy water, milky water. Mississippi, named for the river, from French variation of Algonquian Ojibwe Meshiziabi, meaning Big River. Missouri, named for a group of native peoples among Chiwer, Siouan, tribes, from an Algonquian word, likely Wimisurita, meaning people of the big, or wood, canoes. Montana, from the Spanish word montaña, meaning mountain, which stems from Latin mons, montes. U.S. Representative James H. Ashley of Ohio proposed the name in 1864. Nebraska, from a native Siouan name for the Platte River, either Omaha and Ibraska or Oto and Ibrach, both meaning waterflat. Nevada, named for the western boundary of the Sierra Nevada mountain range, meaning snowy mountains in Spanish. New Hampshire, named for the county of Hampshire in England, which was named for city of Southampton. Southampton was known in Old English as Hampton, meaning village town. The surrounding area, or Sur, became known as Hamtunser. New Jersey, named by one of the state's proprietors, Sir George Carteret, for his home, the Channel Island of Jersey, a bastardization of the Latin Caesarea, the Roman name for the island. New Mexico, from Spanish Nuevo Mexico, from Nahuatl, Aztecan, Mexico, the name of the ancient Aztec capital. New York, named in honor of the Duke of York and Albany, the future James II. York comes from Old English Eoforwic, earlier Eboracon, an ancient Celtic name probably meaning yew tree estate. North Carolina, both Carolinas were named for King Charles II. The proper form of Charles in Latin is Carolus, and the division into North and South originated in 1710. In Latin, Carolus is a strong form of the pronoun he and translates in many related languages as a free or strong man. North Dakota. Both Dakotas stem from the name of a group of native peoples from the Plain States, from Dakota, Dakota, meaning friendly, often translated as allies. Ohio, named for the Ohio River, from Seneca, Iroquoian, Ohio, meaning good river. Oklahoma, from a Choctaw word, meaning red people, which breaks down as Oklahoma Nation, people plus Homa red. Choctaw scholar Alan Wright, later principal chief of the Choctaw Nation, coined the word. Oregon, uncertain origins, potentially from Algonquin. Pennsylvania, named, not for William Penn, the state's proprietor, but for his late father, Admiral William Penn, 1621 to 1670, after suggestion from Charles II. The name literally means Penn's Woods, a hybrid formed from the surname Penn and Latin Sylvania. Rhode Island, it is thought that Dutch explorer Adrian Block named modern Block Island, a part of Rhode Island, Rhode Island, meaning Red Island for the cliffs. English settlers later extended the name to the mainland, and the island became Block Island for differentiation. An alternate theory is that Italian explorer Giovanni da Verrazzano gave it the name in 1524 based on an apparent similarity to the island of Rhodes. South Carolina, see North Carolina. South Dakota, see North Dakota. Tennessee, from Cherokee, Iroquoian, village name Tanasi of unknown origin. Texas, from Spanish Tejas, earlier pronounced Tachas, originally an ethnic name, from Caddo, the language of an eastern Texas Indian tribe, Tasha meaning friends, allies. Utah, from Spanish Utah, name of the indigenous Uto-Aztecan people of the Great Basin, perhaps from Western Apache, Athabascan, Utah, meaning high, in reference to living in the mountains. Vermont, based on French words for green mountain, Mont Vert. Virginia, a Latinized name for Elizabeth I, the Virgin Queen. Washington, named for President George Washington, 1732 to 1799. The surname Washington means estate of a man named Wassa in Old English. West Virginia, see Virginia. West Virginia split from Confederate Virginia and officially joined the Union as a separate state in 1863. Wisconsin, uncertain origins but likely from a Miami word mescancing, meaning it lies red, misspelled mescasing by the French, and later corrupted to Wisconsin. Quarries in Wisconsin often contain red flint. Wyoming, from Muncie, Delaware, Algonquin, Chwawamink, meaning at the Big River Flat. Related to. See also, the most famous book in every state.